Is your bank account legally yours? Or is it just on loan from the government? Right now, a historic multi-billion-dollar global trap has just been activated. It is designed to completely freeze your financial freedom. The mainstream media is completely silent about it, but the doors are slamming shut right now. If you've ever felt like your hard-earned money is slowly evaporating under your nose while politicians rewrite the financial rules overnight, I'm here to tell you that your paranoia is entirely accurate. Look at this global capital map. It looks like a normal flow of international investment, but it's not. This is the visual signature of a massive wealth exodus. But wait, before we begin, please subscribe to ensure that you never miss out on any of my essential stuff. Comment, "I subscribe" below, and I will personally welcome you to our community. With that said, let's get started. Take Sarah. Sarah is a 64-year-old retired nurse from California. She spent 35 years pulling grueling double shifts, saving lives and destroying her lower back. Her knees felt like hot knives after every single shift. She did everything right, invested in her modest retirement, bought a small property, and looked forward to peace. But her quiet retirement was completely upended. That's when things got worse. Sarah's sudden financial crisis wasn't an accident. It was a direct result of a massive, quiet legislative policy that went into effect this year. And nobody is warning you about the consequences. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as intended. It is designed to keep you locked inside an economic enclosure where your purchasing power can be systematically harvested to pay off debts you didn't incur. Over the next 30 minutes, we are going to pull back the curtain on the global headline shifts that the evening news refuses to cover. We will break down exactly how global migration, collapsing state budgets, and a terrifying new brand of financial legislation are converging on your life savings. If you have even a single dollar sitting in a traditional bank account, you cannot afford to turn this video off. What if the country you love is secretly tracking your net worth to plan a final, massive economic clawback? This isn't a conspiracy theory anymore. It's cold, hard data. The Henley Private Wealth Migration Report just dropped a bombshell on global markets. A record-shattering 142,000 millionaires packed up and fled their home countries in a single calendar year. Right now, that number is surging toward an unprecedented 165,000. Every single working day, more than 600 wealthy individuals are abandoning their homelands. Capital is fleeing, and governments are terrified of losing their tax base. But why should you care if millionaires are running away? Because when the ultra-wealthy leave, they take the tax base with them. And when the tax base collapses, governments don't cut their spending. They simply lower their sights. They target the middle class, the upper middle class, the retirees, and the savers. They target you. Think about the physical toll of that sudden panic. Sarah woke up to a notification on her phone. Her throat went completely dry. Her heart pounded violently against her ribs. Under the newly implemented federal tax adjustments, the combined inflation-driven value of her family home and her retirement account officially pushed her past the strict $2 million net worth threshold. Overnight, the system reclassified her. She wasn't just a retired nurse anymore. She was legally flagged as a potential capital flight risk. The state began monitoring her accounts for any unusual outbound transfers. Every time she tried to move money to help her daughter overseas, her bank placed a temporary security hold on the transaction. The digital walls were closing in, and she could feel the cold metal of the cage. If you find yourself facing this exact kind of localized economic squeeze, do not panic sell your assets or blindly wire money out country. There's a safe, practical action you can take right now. Look into state-specific, asset-insulated trusts, or consider moving your capital into internal domestic tax havens like Texas or Florida. These states are quietly absorbing billions of dollars in localized wealth because they don't have state income taxes, providing a legal shield against aggressive regional overreach. Yet, millions of families are skipping this safety net entirely. Distracted by flash mobs and viral political debates, they pack their bags and run straight into an international border crossing trap that global powers are actively preparing to lock down. Why are nations like the United Arab Emirates, Switzerland, and Singapore aggressively inviting your wealth abroad? It's a strategy called the golden cage. The data proves it. Dubai broke into the global top 20 wealthiest cities by growing its millionaire population by over 100% through its promise of zero personal income tax and easy golden visas. Across Europe, countries like Italy and Greece have rolled out flat tax regimes designed to lure high-earning expats. They paint a picture of paradise, low cost, safety, and pristine landscapes. But your home country isn't going to let you leave with your money without a fight. They are striking back with brutal, unprecedented exit taxes. Sarah almost fell for the trap, terrified of watching her savings erode from local inflation and shifting state laws. She was ready to buy a heavily marketed expat condo in southern Europe. She had already picked out the furniture. She felt an overwhelming sense of relief, a temporary euphoria that she was finally going to escape the system. Then, her knees felt like weak water when her accountant showed her the reality of IRS Form 8854 under the updated tax codes. The hidden truth is terrifying. If you meet the criteria of a covered expatriate, meaning you have a net worth over $2 million or fail to certify 5 years of immaculate tax compliance, the government triggers what is called a deemed sale. They pretend you sold every single asset you own on the planet today before you expatriated. They tax your unrealized gains instantly. You haven't actually sold anything. You don't have the liquid cash from a real sale, but the IRS hands you a massive tax bill anyway. For Sarah, this meant that the home she bought for $200,000 30 years ago, which inflated to $1.8 million purely because of money printing, would be taxed as if she sold it today. Her retirement would be wiped out before she even boarded the plane. Look at what happened in Norway. The Norwegian government repeatedly tightened its exit tax rules, completely eliminating the loophole that allowed departing citizens to defer their exit tax indefinitely. Now, if you leave Norway, you must pay the tax in full within 12 years, whether you've sold your shares or not. And if you receive dividends while living abroad, those dividends are seized to pay down your exit tax balance. This is the golden cage in action. The door is open to walk out, but the price of admission to the rest of the world is your entire financial life story. Never move capital across borders based on marketing or a glossy brochure. You must hire a qualified, cross-border fiduciary who can meticulously model your home country's exit tax thresholds against the host country's hidden compliance fees. Because if you think the exit tax is bad, wait until you see how governments are rewriting the rules of the currency itself inside your local borders. The trap isn't just waiting for you at the international terminal. It's sitting right inside your local ATM machine. While everyone is focused on tax percentages, central banks around the world are quietly executing a fundamental upgrade to the architecture of money itself. According to global central bank digital currency trackers, over 130 countries, representing 98% of global GDP, are now in advanced development or pilot phases of their own digital currencies. This isn't cryptocurrency. This isn't decentralized Bitcoin. This is a centralized, programmable, state-controlled digital token. Think about what programmable money actually means. It means the issuer of the currency can decide exactly where, when, and how you are allowed to spend your money.
Let's look at a real-world shift. One rainy Tuesday morning, Sarah went to her local branch to withdraw $5,000 in cash. She wanted to buy a used car from a neighbor. The teller looked at her with suspicion. "Why do you need this much cash, Sarah? We have to flag this for a currency transaction report." Sarah felt her face grow hot. Her heart raced. "It's my money," she said, her voice trembling. The teller replied coldly, "We are just following federal compliance guidelines to prevent illicit capital flows." Sarah left the bank with zero cash, feeling like a criminal in her own town. The infrastructure for total financial surveillance is being deployed under the guise of convenience and security. In a fully digitized banking ecosystem tied to a CBDC, if your carbon footprint is deemed too high, your ability to purchase fuel can be throttled. If you express political opinions that go against the prevailing narrative, your account can be restricted. If the government decides the economy needs more consumer spending, they can enforce negative interest rates, automatically deducting money from your account every day you choose to save it. They don't need to pass a new tax law to take your wealth. They can simply program your money to lose its value if you don't spend it exactly how they want you to. To protect yourself from this impending digital enclosure, you must diversify out of pure institutional digital banking. Stop keeping 100% of your liquid net worth in a single major commercial bank. Maintain a reasonable reserve of physical cash outside the banking system. Look into tangible, non-custodial hard assets that cannot be wiped out by a single line of code or a sudden banking holiday. Shift your day-to-day liquidity into local credit unions, which are structurally less aligned with federal centralizing initiatives than multinational megabanks. But what happens when even hard assets are targeted by a surprise regulatory clawback? That brings us to the ultimate wealth transfer strategy. Governments aren't just waiting for you to pack your bags and leave. They are perfectly content to let you stay put, work your entire life, and wait for you to pass away so they can execute the ultimate wealth transfer. Look across the Atlantic at the United Kingdom. The UK has become a stark cautionary tale for the rest of the Western world. In 2025, the British government executed a massive overhaul of its tax code, completely abolishing the centuries-old non-domicile tax regime. They followed it up with an aggressive restructuring of inheritance tax rules, targeting family farms, multi-generational businesses, and pension pots that were previously completely exempt. The result? A catastrophic Wexit, a historic hemorrhage of capital. The UK lost an estimated 16,500 millionaires in a single year, with billions of pounds in liquid assets fleeing to safer shores like Switzerland and Italy. When a government runs out of money, promises are the first things to burn. Pensions, estate exemptions, and long-standing legal protections are rewritten with the stroke of a pen. They are coming for the equity in your home, the remainder of your retirement plans, and the assets you intended to leave to your children. Sarah saw this writing on the wall. She realized she couldn't run to a foreign country without hitting the exit tax wall, and she couldn't leave her money in a standard savings account without watching it get eaten alive by inflation and digital tracking. She had to fight smart.
She stopped looking for a geographic escape hatch and started building a legal fortress right where she stood. She worked with an elite asset protection attorney to establish an irrevocable domestic trust based in a jurisdiction with ironclad asset protection laws. She moved the title of her property and her investments into this entity. Legally, Sarah no longer owned those assets. The trust did, but she controlled the trust. When the local municipality sent out another aggressive tax reassessment, and when the federal compliance systems ran their automated audits, Sarah's personal net worth profile looked entirely different. She had legally detached her wealth from her identity. Her stress levels plummeted. The hot, stabbing pain in her knees didn't magically go away, but for the first time in years, she slept soundly through the night. She had anchored her wealth exactly where it belonged, bulletproofing it against state overreach. The single biggest mistake you can make right now is waiting for a financial crisis, an audit, or a medical emergency to draft your asset protection plan. You must establish irrevocable structures early, while the skies are clear. Once the state flags your account or rewrites the regional property code, the door protect that asset locks permanently. The global financial map is being redrawn and the lines are being deeply etched into the sand. The infrastructure for total financial control is already built, tested, and waiting for the final switch to be flipped. We've seen the data. We've watched the historic capital flight tracked by the Henley Private Wealth Migration Report. We've seen how countries like Norway and the United States have weaponized exit taxes to create a financial border wall. We've seen how central banks are preparing to replace your cash with programmable tokens, and how nations like the UK are targeting the transition of multi-generational wealth. This isn't a problem for the distant future. This is the reality of our current financial landscape. The choices you make with your capital over the next few months will dictate whether your family retains its financial sovereignty or becomes completely dependent on a system that views your savings as public property. You cannot rely on the traditional financial playbook anymore. Buying a stock index fund and leaving your cash in a commercial checking account is no longer a safe strategy. It's an open invitation for a slow, systemic wealth confiscation. It leaves every single hardworking individual facing an incredibly uncomfortable reality. So, let me ask you this. Would you risk your entire life savings on a high-stakes, stressful move abroad just for a temporary tax break and a bit of foreign sunshine? Or will you choose to stay put, deploy advanced domestic legal strategies, and protect your hard-earned wealth right here? Tell us your survival strategy in the comments below. Let's start a conversation, share real legal resources, and build a network of sovereign savers. The clock is ticking. The rules are shifting, and doing nothing is no longer an option. Thank you for watching and stay vigilant.